It's a beautiful day here in Yakima. A little bit nippy, but the sun is shining bright. So I thought I'd go for a ride and show you a little bit of Yakima. Hi, I'm Arnie, and this is eBike Trippin', and here we go for e-bike rides, and we do reviews. If you're into any of that, why don't you consider subscribing? Just click that big red subscribe button, click the bell icon so you won't miss anything, and check the show notes to see if there's any other additional information. So we are here at the Yakima Rotary Aquatic Center at Chesterway Park. If you look around, you'll notice a few landmarks. There's the McDonald's over here, and that's right off of 40th. So when you're coming into town on 40th Avenue, take a left onto, I've forgotten what the street is here. River Road, I think it is. And this is strange. I've lived here for a decade, and sometimes I forget the street names. Anyway, if you came in, you're parked here at Chesterway Park, and we're going to take the Powerhouse Trail and go up into some of the neighborhoods and just ride around and get to see what a little bit of Yakima looks like. Anyway, so let's get this show on the road. Dressed a little bit warmer today than I was the other day when I was in Snohomish. And so we're going to just get on the Powerhouse Trail here. As I mentioned on my first ride with the Insta360, over this way is the Aquatic Center, Ymca, and we're bordering 40th Avenue, which is a pretty main arterial into Yakima. A lot of main streets. Yes. One YouTube channel I like to watch on urban planning calls them stroads, because they're a cross between a street and the road. Anyway, we're bordering 40th, and this is Chesterway Park. Used to be a lot of soccer tournaments we played here, but they've since moved to a different location, a little farther out of town, a little more convenient. They have large crowds, and we're passing by a storage facility. Okay, so just check to our right here, and now you could stay on the road, but I'm going to take you on the trail here. Powerhouse Canal Trail. Pretty popular place for people to walk. This will be a pretty short ride today, I think. Not an hour long like the Centennial Trail one I just posted a couple of days ago. If you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link up above, and you can check that out. The Centennial Trail in Snohomish County. Nice ride. I didn't do the whole thing. I did about half. So just have to keep your wits about you when you cross this street. Make sure that people are seeing you. And we continue on. That was Kern Road, by the way. And we are coming up to 34th here, 34th Avenue. And again, pay attention here. Now, you go up onto that sidewalk over there, but I tend to go up the street just a smidge, and we're gonna go left and go back onto the trail. You know, it's personal preference there. This isn't particularly pretty. I'm just trying to give you the easiest route, maybe. Most protected route for sure. Passing through the backyards of different houses and people wandering across the trail. Low-income housing, I believe, on the left here. They've done a nice job with this area. All right, we're coming up to Englewood, and this is a street that you have to pay attention to also. People come ripping down the hill there on my right, not paying attention to the crossing there. Dead ahead is Robertson Elementary School, and it was a place that I had hoped to work once upon a time when I first moved over here, but it didn't work out that way. As it turned out, the last couple of years of my career, I was a middle school teacher instead of elementary, and actually turned out to be okay. Still on the Powerhouse Canal Trail, kind of loops around the school. Probably see the sign up there ahead there. Oftentimes I will veer immediately through that gate right there on the right and head up, but I'm taking you along the entire trail here. It goes behind some apartment. Well, I guess they're actually condominiums. I don't know the details about the place, but and we're riding along. Sometimes this is kind of covered with debris, tree branches falling down. All right. Oh, well, there's a whole section of a tree that fell. And the maintenance crews don't always get in here and clean things up as quickly as they might. But all in all, it's not a bad ride through here. We're coming to the end of the trail up here at the corner of Lincoln and 24th. Now, This is a pretty busy street, Lincoln, so you really have to kind of pay attention. You can go to the crosswalk here if you wish. Sometimes find it's more trouble than it's worth. And you really have to pay attention here. There's a little rise up there to the right. Sometimes it's not easy to see cars coming. And we are gonna go. Almost fell over there. Didn't gear down as much as I thought I had. That was bad. All right. Climbing 24th. Sometimes when I'm talking to the camera, I forget to gear down and what have you. Oh, that was... Anyway, we're on 24th. Getting into a more residential area. Older homes. It's nice they have speed bumps on here now. People would go a lot faster through here than they needed to. Okay, coming to Summit View. I'm remembering to gear down now. Summit View is another 4-lane strode. Riding around Yakima can be a real challenge because of these heavily trafficked 4-lane streets, stroads. We are now entering historic portion of town. We are approaching Barge Street, and it's a very again, we're in a historic home area, an area of historic homes, I guess would be a better way to put that. And I took a left there. And we're just doing a slow cruise through here. There on the right, that grayish blue house set behind that white picket fence is one of our favorite places in town. It's a gorgeous house. So well kept. And I took a right as we passed it. And we are going to turn right onto West Yakima Avenue, just so you can see some more of the nice houses. It's, like I said, a historic neighborhood. I don't know how they managed to designate them that way, but it's a nice area. The street is really kind of ugly. It's concrete and it's all broken up. So we're passing 24th, which is the street we came up the hill. Oh, there's a house for sale. Not often do houses come for sale on this street. Search Zillow for details. Nice little place. We're going to follow Yakima here for a while, just so you get more of a flavor of this area. A house that's just here on the right, this white one with the stone and the fence, was not a very nice house until recently, and they renovated it, and it looks gorgeous now. They sold it for a considerable amount of money. Now passing 28. We're at 30th, and we're gonna turn left here. And then we are going to turn right on this next street, Chestnut. Now, I know I'm weaving around, but this is a pretty small town, so if you don't want to follow my exact route, that's okay. So we're turning right on Chestnut, and Chestnut is designated as a bike route here in Yakima. And you might see the occasional bike sign. But that's about it. It's just not very well designated at all. Like a lot of towns in America, bicycling is not given much support. So we continue on. I just crossed 32nd Street. As I mentioned, this is supposed to be a bike route, and I don't know if you've noticed, but there are no sharrows. There's no sign on the, side of the road or anything. Fortunately, it isn't highly traveled, so it's not a huge deal. Gee whiz, it wouldn't take much to do a little something. We're heading west on Chestnut. We're going to be leaving the Barge Chestnut Historic Homes neighborhood, or whatever the official... Oh, look at that, there's a bike route sign, so I wasn't pulling your leg. That's on my right now, the Unmask Our Children sign in front of it. Good grief. That place has been a wreck for as long as I've lived here, which is over a decade now, and somebody is finally doing something with it. Alright, we are coming to 40th Avenue. This, you guys, is a real pain in the ass to cross. Very, very heavily traveled. Our local biking and neighborhood walking group has convinced the city to put in these yellow lights in that divider there, but I'll be honest with you, I don't use the lights because waiting for somebody to stop, I was lucky reading it, but we felt really at risk. Just get across. Something like that to be, the problem is there's 4 lanes. One person going each way might see it. Then how about the other individuals? That's what the problem was for us. Another bike route sign. Just a dangerous place to cross. So use your own judgment there. Pay attention. We're continuing to head west on Chestnut. Just passing 45th Avenue now. Foothills going towards the Cascade Mountains. This is 48. know, I read a while back that Yakima Valley is the largest hop producer in the world, something like that. I wouldn't want to, you know, swear to that, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read. And even sent to Germany, which kind of tickled me. One of the largest beer producers in the world, and they're buying their hops from around here. Again, don't quote me. I might be a little off on that. Alright, we're just passing 56. And for any of you watching that don't live in Washington State, here, cyclists do not have to stop for stop signs. I've had people making comments in the past about, oh, bicyclists blowing stop signs and what have you. Well, here, we don't have to. We just have to make sure that we've got the room, I guess you would say, to make the crossing without impacting anybody else. I had one guy who yelled at me one day. Obviously he was clueless. About the law. Sixtieth Avenue. Pretty straight shot, and again, as I said, there's not a lot of traffic on this street, so it's pretty safe ride. My wife and I are pretty fanatical about finding places to ride that you know, we feel safe. And a brand new school, Summit View Elementary, just opened up this year. They started building it just before COVID, and we wondered if it would actually open up. And it certainly has. Looks like a nice building. As a teacher, it's always fun to move into a new building, although it's not without its stresses. Here we're crossing 65th. It's not without its stresses, particularly if when they are built, they start adding new technology to the building, and there's always glitches with that and what have you. So, but it is nice. Crossing 68th. Again, we're on West Chestnut. right, this is North 72nd Avenue, and it's another one of those 4-lane stroads that's heavily trafficked, although right now it's wide open, which is really interesting. At any rate, to the left is a shopping center with a yogurt shack and a Rosar's grocery store and a few other things, and we're going to call it quits here for our short ride in Yakima. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you click that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you like these kinds of short little rides. Leave a comment below. We always appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you in the next ride.